Welcome back. I'm Tae-gyun, and we start off with our top stories. It has been 6 months since Japan imposed export controls on Korea. Now, initially, there were concerns that Korean semiconductor makers would suffer setbacks, but it seems like they haven't been hit as badly as it was first thought. Better yet, Japan's export curbs prompted Korea to diversify the country's materials and parts import sources and rely less on Japan.
Employees in white cleanroom garments are busy conducting a test. They're running the final quality control test to see if the hydrogen fluoride is more than 99.99% pure before it's shipped out. Hydrogen fluoride is one of the 3 products that were subjected to Japan's export restrictions. It's a key material used in etching silicon wafers and removing impurities from them. Korea depended on Japan to meet 2/3 of its demand as it was more economical. But a Korean hydrogen fluoride manufacturer promptly increased its production lines to successfully replace the Japanese imports with local products in just 6 months.
평가 결과 이제 모든 것이 다 좋다라는 이제 평가를 작년 말에 이제 받았고요. 금년부터는 다 순조롭게 공급을 할 수 있게.
Photoresist is an essential material used in engraving semiconductor circuits on silicon wafers. This material caused the greatest concern since it was the item with the highest dependency on Japan, and it was projected to take more than a year to develop an alternative product. But contrary to such concern, it was the first material that Korea was able to source elsewhere. The country was able to quickly secure an alternative import source from Belgium. Global corporations are working to produce the material locally. Polyamide used in making flexible displays was not an issue from the beginning since local production had been underway before Japan's export restriction. Industry insiders are puzzled as to why Japan placed curbs on it in the first place. The general consensus is that Korean firms suffered practically no losses for the past 6 months since Japan's export control.
오히려 국산화 추진의 동력으로 작용해서 중장기 경쟁력을 확보하게 된 계기가 된 것으로 보고 있습니다.
Over the next 5 years, the Korean government plans to produce locally or diversify import sources for 100 items that are highly dependent on Japan. Subsequently, Seoul will invest more than 2 trillion won, 2.5 times more than last year in the materials, parts and equipment industries this year.